Tough luck today. You'll get him next time, Farrier, as he walks by. And we are outside on the track here for today at the races. Keith, a dead heat yesterday, a slew of fun action yesterday.
We did. I mean,
Yeah.
vaccination came flying. I was, giving our photo finish man a little grief. I thought he got up just by
Right.
a nose, but hey, I'll take the dead heat because I didn't think he was going to get there when they hit the quarter pole. So, yeah, that was a really good run, vaccination. Great finish. Yeah, we had a big payout there in that other turf race, $52, I
Yes.
believe it was. El Delary knocked a lot of people out. So, that horse was havable. I discussed that with Rodman earlier. And I'm so
breeding.
mad at myself. The breeding was there. Painter on the turf. You look through the family a little bit deeper, and that's the fun
dam
part
was all
about these. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the fun part about these turf races. This is where you can catch those prices. Do your homework. $2 or $4 here or there if you're smaller, better, because you've got to have faith. Some of these horses, when they transition dirt to turf for the first time, they can just be box cars. You had it there yesterday with El Delary. Rainy Skies, another big price, 8-1. You got on Kieran McGee. What a boisterous crowd that was coming through the stretch. I knew who bet that one. I mean, they were as loud as could be. A lot of fun for that whole gang, the whole winning team there with Rainy Skies. A little rain yesterday, but no gloom and doom for those connections.
And let's go ahead and discuss the turf and look at the turf on what we've got going on here today. Sunny skies outside all day, Keith. I am a very happy girl.
Yes, right now, yeah. It's going to get close to what, mid-80s, I think, when it's all said and done. What a change and enjoy. It's a beautiful day. Come out, have a couple cocktails, get on the apron, and enjoy the live racing action. These turf races, we've had some furious finishes.
Let's start things off with that early pick 5 in this maiden special weight, going 2 turns on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the number 4 on top in Regal. This is, of course, in the barn of Sammy Davis. Now, Forrest Boy's second time routing.
Yeah, I don't have a strong feel in the opener, Callie. I really don't. You've got a first or early money at 3-5 in the 6th. Planet Claire, who catches the right kind of group. There's breeding to suggest this horse could have some talent, no doubt about that. But I'll go with the experience. Regaled and enemy number 9 come out of that same race. No real big runs by either one of them. A little bit even, but the buyer figures stand up. I think Regaled, I'll give a slight edge now here, getting that second time going long for Sammy Davis and Forrest Boys. Just not a whole lot for me to get excited about in the opener.
4-1-2-5 then for Keith Fustel there in race number 1. The early pick 4 does start in race number 2 with the turf race in the starter optional 20,000 going 5.5. As I mentioned on the turf, scratches in the 4, 6, and a 10. Keith, you have the number 2 on top. Midday Image for David Jacobson, Angel Cruz. We're going to take a look back at that 2023 debut over here at the Laurel Lawn.
This was a really good race. It had come off a win late in 2022 at Tampa. In that 2 other than, it steps up and beats a quality field. This is a horse. I know he's 8 now. He does not mind running fresh. He brings it to the table, off the brakes, works an inside-out trip, and really closes nicely to beat this group, a quality group. 4 maybe tailed off slightly at the end of 2023, but he's back. I'm sure he'll be back, hopefully with a vengeance. A little speed maybe comes out of here, slight, but I think Lucci's going to be very difficult. Maybe Midday Image is going to need a horse like Smitten enough to keep Lucci busy up front, because Lucci's another one. He can come off of the break and run big. He'll fight you tooth and nail. It's one of these two. Maybe Midday Image can just wear them down late. They're very tough for me to separate these two in race number 2. Speak Unity, a good effort, your top selection last time. Yeah, turning back in distance, we saw that work prior. Dirt going a mile to the sprint on the turf. Yeah, I mean, slight flattening late. Held on, though. That horse, that third place horse, got some trouble and finished up very strong. Karis, that was a Hugh McMahon horse, I believe, at a big number. So pay attention to that one moving forward. Speak Unity has the recency against a couple of these.
2-8-3-7 for Keith Fustel there in race number 2. Race number 3 is a claiming 40,000 going 5. Then a half on the dirt for the straight 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the number 6 on top, True Sunshine. This is in the barn of Mike Trombetta. Michael Sanchez looking for win number 2 in a row.
We talked about Tromb. He doesn't claim a ton of horses, but when he does, you got to pay a little bit of attention. Something, caught his eye here, and True Sunshine ran very well first off the claim, against the grain a little bit, even better second time out. This horse had a stumble at the break and made a really quick move to contention. Was hampered by a wide go around the turn. But you know what? This horse kept on battling. I thought Renee Six, these two very tough to separate. Renee Six had a little bit better trip out of that race. They're going to be very tough right back. Video on Stormy Midnight. This horse super impressive. Kieran now lately off the claim with these maidens has been striking. Make dividends are there for you to make off of this barn. I tell you, this horse was just under a hammer lock into the turn last time out, prompting Gold Rush Hottie, who came back to win, right, for Kieran, and a gutsy effort through the stretch. But watch this, just well in hand and moves away comfortably at 7/8 of a mile, 25-4, respectable time. A little bump up here, first time against winners with Taralba. Deadly combination here, a hot barn, a really hot rider. So I think Stormy Midnight has plenty of fitness to turn back to the 5.5 and bring that punch late.
Absolutely. 6-5, 2-3 for Keith Fusel there in race at number 3. Race number 4 starts your middle pick for Keith. And how do you play it?
Yeah, a little easy ticket for you here, $18 to end the weekend. 211. If you're going to add a horse here in the 4th, I think maybe the 13 who draws in. So pay attention to that. And George Ruiz is up. So you got a very solid turf rider here for John Service. I Can Do Magic draws in. That would move that ticket up. I think about, 27 or something. We'll do the math.
Right, and it's just about that. So wrapping things up here, of course.
135. And thank you. I had to get a little drink there. Get a little
Right,
dry.
I got you.
First time back out here in the heat. I can't handle it. Race 5, 135.
Really?
Marty's Magic, Amani's Tiger. I'll take the blame. First time gelding. 2 deep in the 6th with the 2 and the 3. Rock the Boat, Grateful Bread. We'll talk about that one. Race 7, 1, 4, and 5. State bred, state sired, first level allowance going 5.5. Good group there, fun group in the 7. $18.
I can't believe that just came out of your mouth here. $18 for
What?
Keith Fusel.
The heat?
Carryover, yes. The Rainbow Pick 6 has a carryover of 10,148. Just giving a little bit of a rundown of my ticket. I start off with double in the 2 and the 11. We'll have a stat coming up on the 11. Single in on race at number 5 on the Rail Horse and Marty's Magic. We'll have a video spotlight on that horse. Go a touch wide in race number 7, of course, a turf race. And going to wrap things up with a double, $19.20 for that Rainbow Pick 6. Of course, let's begin and dive into this. Let's talk about your 11 Silk Suit coming off of just coming back off of this is first time routing, second start, 4 gram motion. And we have a nice Keith Fusel stat.
I thought this horse got a good education and debut, a little trouble, a little bit of belated action. Now we're going to transfer over to the turf course. But motion, the last 2 years, we've seen this around here, especially second start. Thinking 21% with an ROI of 245, and we're talking about again that pick 4 is a $27 ticket if you want to add the 13 in here. But I'll take a shot here. Looking at the breeding, bottom side, Peach of a Gal here for Silk Suit. We remember her. She was good on the turf. 3 for 13, a stakes winner, topped at an 88. I think this one is going to be live in race 4, kind of a wide open race. Yeah, the 2 looks like the horse to be Furness, given to fly, and even try in debut. But that race came in to be a little bit productive. I thought the second to last finish, I checked right, came back to run a big number in its next start. Now transitioning, first time in this barn, synthetic, second off of a break, lots of things to like for the 2 given to fly. Let's talk about this 13 that pops in off the AEs, do the scratch. I Can Do Magic. It's going to be a second time gelding. I like that angle. Off a little bit of a freshening. Barn, as we talked about, doesn't win a slew of turf races, but this one's got a full sibling, a lot of full siblings. But one of them, I believe, was I want to say topped at like an 88, had a couple really big tries on the turf. So I'm looking at that. That piqued my interest. You go get Ruiz. They mean business here, I believe, with 13 staying in. I Can Do Magic.
No, absolutely. You also wrap things up with the number 10 underneath in My Sanctuary. Mike Stidham, Michael Sanchez. Yeah. Michael Sanchez is gonna put a little bit of jazz in this horse.
First time with blinkers on the turf. So that's just kind of flat in those other races, but the figures kind of work against this group. I respect the barn, and that horse is going to make the ticket. I think Big Star is another one. You've got the 4 in the mix here for Carrie Bryan. Gomez. So she's got 2 in here. Gomez goes here. Might be a little bit of a tell when you line it up. First time reported gelding. Lord Avey in the second dam in the breeding. I love that. That's going on the way back. Anytime I see that in the breeding, it's an influence that I definitely like.
11, 12, 13, 10 for Keith Fusel there in race number 4. Race number 5 starts the late pick 5, and it is in this maiden claiming 45, going a mile and an eighth on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 3 on top. Armani's Tiger, Jamie Ness, Michael Sanchez here today.
Second time in the Ness barn. And how about this stat with the maiden claimers? Second off the claim, he's 9 for 19 over the last couple of years. 47% strike rate. Fairly evenly matched field. I know Marty's Magic's going to take a ton of play for a barn that's just scorching at the moment, and it's a mile and an eighth. Is that going to be the separator again? That distance can cause a little problems. That last 16th of a mile, 70 yards, when they try to navigate. I think Mamani's Tiger is kind of a stayer, a grinding type. I believe Marty's Magic is going to have to deal with stormy seas with the blinkers back on.
Right.
Make a move into that one. They get tangled up. Maybe this one is the one to grind it out from just off the pace. Marty's Magic, I respect. I'll take the blame. Yes, reported first-time gelding here for this barn, who hits at a 24% rate with that move. A little bit drop down for the tag. I think this horse will improve first-time gelding for Russell. So Costner, you know, he ran well last time. They kind of ran away from him around the final turn. But, man, he stayed on. Yeah, we've got video, thanks, guys, of Marty's Magic and Costner. I forgot about this one, but Marty's Magic took advantage of the inside post last time out, took that pressure, handled all of it. Intrepid's Legacy, the 3 to 5, repels that challenge, gets another threat. Minx's Lucky Starfire, yeah, comes on and eventually gets it done. But watch Costner down inside. He looked all through at the 3/8, Callie. Under a ride.
I remember.
Works outward and really closes up well. I thought the last 3/16 of a mile. The added distance, maybe that's the plus, and we'll get Costner over the top this afternoon.
Distance could be key for Costner there in race at number 5 on the outside, of course, for Mikey Jones Jr. Angel Cruz, super gutsy effort last time out. We'll be right back after this commercial break to discuss the rest of Sunday's card.
And they're off.
And we're back here, of course, in race number 6, our jackpot super high 5, and the late pick 4, of course, in this allowance optional 40. That's that jackpot super high 5 is ticking right along, and 5.5 on the turf. 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 5, scratching the 7. Keith, you have the number 2, and so do I.
Okay.
Rock the boat. Let's take a look. See from that effort. First debut 2023.
Yeah, another one, similar to Midday Image, and you see this. You don't really get terribly concerned, or I don't at least, with the layoffs. These horses can handle the 5-6 month breaks, and this one likes the break. Very sharp at Pimlico going back here to May. Right out of the gate, had to battle inside into the turn, took some pressure, didn't matter. This horse was really, really sharp. He's had some issues out of the gate. Let's hope those are behind him. If they are, man, he just explodes here the last 3/16 of a mile. I think he's going to be just fine. A good effort behind Dr. Jeff prior to the layoff at 6. I think he works better at 5.5. That's right. It's very fast as 6 horse. I like to see him get position and prompt that one and maybe go on with it from the top of the stretch. Here's a veteran as well. Grateful Bread, the 3. You've got in the mix. I like that you've got this one in there. The blinkers coming off, Lasix going back on. This horse, the blinkers went on, and his form was just so. He's come back. I know this horse has run well over this turf course. That could be the key, the blinkers off. Look at his staggering numbers when you go back comparatively to most of this field. He'll be right there mid-turn if he's right. If he's sitting with a little bit of a hold, Gomez, he could definitely win this thing. You're getting okay price here right now at 10-1 morning line.
I love the works too that we're getting out of Middleburg Training Center, and remember that track is just a touch deeper, so just take kind of quicken those times up just a tick, not by too much,
Yeah.
but it's something to consider there as well. You also go with the number 4 in Childers, Brittany and Sheldon Russell. They give a try back on the turf, and why not? We've had some success there.
Yeah, I think we might revert to just coming from just a little bit further off the pace. What it did when getting that score in the first level allowance, a little tougher group here today, but wouldn't be a real surprise. I think this horse will be knocking around through the stretch, no doubt.
Talk to me about the Hugh McMahon horse.
Yeah.
Nifty, not on the rail, but breaking from the 4 post. J. Ron Barbosa, 8-1.
I had that horse the other day at a big number, I believe. So 35 starts, yet to hit the turf, and you're looking at the breeding Ghost Zapper. Okay, this horse is a half to Giant Mover, who's a stakes type of horse. I want to say Pletcher might have had that one. A 4-time winner, topped at a 91 on the grass. Looking for that stranger, maybe it's Nifty.
No, absolutely. Definitely. I could see that. I'm actually just trying to see if I can find that half sibling that you mentioned to see who Giant Mover.
Yeah, Giant Mover, yeah.
Yep, Giant Mover, winner of the Brookmead going long.
That's what it
Yes,
was.
with Todd Pletcher.
Okay.
Yep, there we have it. So 2-3-4-1 for Keith Fustel in race at number 6. Race number 7 is a restricted allowance going 5.5 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, let's talk and look about Play Harder on the rail for Claudia Gonzalez. Last time out, Torrealba.
Never run a bad race. Nice jump up from September 23 to the second career start. Got that win, a gritty win when shifting out to beat Catahoula Moon. Last time out, a little fractious in the gate, a little hop. Catahoula Moon turned the tables in an extremely sharp effort. You're looking at this race and looking at the times, the internals, 103 and 4. Now you compare that to and these are the 3-year-olds, to non-winners of three other than allowance, fillies and mares. Okay, I know fillies and mares are a little slow. They went 105, 103, 4, 6 lengths. I mean, extremely sharp effort from Catahoula Moon that day. A little bit of a bad actor, Play Hard. He's had some issues. You know, he can find a little bit of trouble. There's no doubt. It's followed him in a couple of his races, but he's got a slew of talent. He's got a lot of heart. One-way traffic should just shoot away, you know, just to his outside. Maybe, and even the 3 horses I think is going to have to go. The Charlestown Shepherd maybe moves in and gets that stalking trip again and can kind of grind it out from the quarter pole home. Play Harder showing, you know, he's got a lot of moxie, this horse.
Let's talk about Good Afternoon, Oscar. You bring this one back into the fold at some potential value here for Mancia and Carrasco.
Absolutely. I thought last race was much better than what the buyer figure indicated of a 64 Order of the Kettle, a horse that's come back to run well. There's going to be some flow in here. He's got an 80 back on his page, and he's done it against the right guy. A horse I think is ticking upward right now, and expect a good run from off the pace at a square price. Yeah, we're getting 20-1 morning line. I don't think it'll be quite that high, but I think he's still going to be double digits.
Another one that we do expect good intentions from is the Band Runs On for Rodney Jenkins, Thais Pustina. Let's take a look at this professional effort last time out.
Yeah, we've got horses coming off of really good efforts. You know, Jay, a sharp maiden breaking score. This one, the Band Runs On. Rodney Jenkins, a little bit slow out of the gate. It just wasn't quite tied on. And mentally, that can happen. 3-year-old firster, but makes a good sustained run. Up 3 wide. The wind-aided opening quarter in this race, and we saw Irish Hero falter again yesterday. But into the headwind through the stretch. And this horse just sustains and really was finding his best visually that last 70 yards.
No, this one, I was really impressed with just this one. Really was talked to the task. Watching this one at the half-mile pole, I said, hey, this one's got it. So with this, I expect very similar.
Okay.
So
we're back.
There we go. And you mentioned Jay running well. Brittany, Sheldon Russell, first time against winners. We can just expect what we saw last time out.
Yeah, I think he'll make another jump up, a 9-point jump in the buyer figures from debut, where he had a lot of issues. He learned a lot in that first race. He's a horse that, you know, he'll take the rating and he's going to finish up. He just needs to move forward a little bit. competitive group here. Play harder. When you kind of look at the buyers, sticks out 85. I don't know if it's going to be that dominant. We're going to find out. I've got him there, but looking for the 4 at a big number.
Okay, there we have it. 1-4-5-7 for Keith Feastel in race number 7. Race number 8 is back on the turf, 5.5 with the scratch of the 5 in this allowance optional claiming 40. You and I both go with the number 3 Mystic Seaport Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez.
Yeah, you look at the company she kept, Callie, on the turf. Not nearly what she's facing today overall, but she's just extremely sharp right now for Ness. How much she won? 1, 2, 3, 4 of her last, or 5 of her last 6, something like that. All she does is win. Catches horses off the break position. I think she's going to be just on or near the lead when you break it all down. I mean, who's the real true speed in here? If they want to go, they could probably go towards the front. It just recency works. Not going to get a great price. But she's going to have to step it up and prove against a little bit better group here today on the turf.
7 out of the last 7 for 8. Out of those winners. That's pointing towards a nice sign. Let's talk about your number 4, your exacta, and let's take a look at Gastown Babe. Justin Nixon, Sheldon Russell. In that October effort, Charlie Marquez rides. He gave a beautiful ride on this filly.
Yeah, I tell you, this horse is okay. And another one coming off of a little bit of a break. She can handle that. She comes from a little bit further off the pace. I think we'll have a little bit of flow in here. I think Money's Worth Fresh could be towards the front. But Gastown Babe, I respect her. Respect the connections. She gets herded out a little bit late, too, if I'm not mistaken. In one of these races, she got, ankle 5 wide, just carried out a little bit mid-stretch, floated, and keeps on chugging to just miss. At a good number that day, close to 7 to 1. She's right back here with Russell, right?
Yes.
Sheldon.
Yep, back with Russell.
I think this one from somewhere, mid-pack, 5 or 6 out of it, mid-turn, will start ramping things up. And I think Biddy Boss doesn't have a whole lot of speed. I think Cavalier Cupid, another one off the break, could be forward. So I think she's going to get that inside-out trip today.
Let's talk about Money's Worth, who's about 156 days off of a layoff for Graham Motion. Victor Carrasco. These two have teamed up well together enough, though.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think you look at who she's run against, Gifted Gap, okay horses. And final 16th, that big punch, doesn't quite have it. But against this group, she matches up well. I think she's definitely going to be a factor once they pass the 8th pole.
And wrapping things up with the number 1 on the rail, Cavalier Cupid, Sarah Nagel, Georgie. These two team up well together. They've done well. They had a good 2023 season, I do believe. So let's see what they get with this one today.
Well, she's won this condition, right? She's won the 2 other than gets a pass back because of the state-bred victories there. So, I mean, 646 days off. That's
it.
But they're protected.
Yeah, why not?
We'll see.
Let's talk about the last race, though, in race number 9. This is a maiden claiming 12.5, going 6 furlongs on the dirt for the straight 3-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 1 on top, Connectamundo. Let's take a look at that last effort for Hugh McMahon and Angel Cruz.
That was a tough one here. The blinkers went on, and a really troubled beginning for Connectamundo. Stumbled at the break, in tight, steady, you name it. But the recovery was interesting. I've got the comment, use 5 wide. I mean, maybe a little tough right there. But you gotta wake the people up with enough of a visual when we're doing these notes. Sometimes we don't have a whole lot of space there on that right page or that right side of the running line. But gets put into contention, 5 wide against a good group. I guess my biggest concern, why the drop again? Why the drop here? Back down to the 12.5. That was first time blinkers. I can kind of discount that, I guess, when you really think about it. So I'm thinking this is first time blinkers with the maiden claimers. It's a 236 ROI for this barn, and the barn that's kind of going along at a pretty good clip right now. So Connectamundo, I don't know if he's quite got the speed of Uncle Chinito. Who gets the cheek pieces on today. Maybe that'll help Uncle Chinito settle and bring a little bit better finish for Horseplay Racing and Alberto Delgado. I think this is going to be the one to catch, no doubt. Connectamundo, I think, with a good break, gets position around the turn, is able to move on past Divine Child. He's an interesting kind of a horse. Another one whose best race was sprinting, albeit on an off track, but the drop and the shortening back up, I think, is going to help his chances. 1-7, 6-5, ABC going the right direction. Got to show me a little bit more than the Charlestown race.
1765. Keith Feastel, that wraps it up for our today at the races and picks. Keith, let's dive into those picks with your value play in race number 6, 10-1 on
Yeah.
Grateful Bread from Madison Myers, Kevin Gomez.
I've always liked this horse for a long, long time. He usually brings it. And the key, I think, today, the blinkers are off.
Right.
Yeah, that experiment, it just didn't seem to go great for him. But today, coming back fresh against some other horses coming off of a layoff, he's run well off, over this turf course, and a horse that's got good positional speed, and he'll fight you from the top of the lane home if he's right. He's going to be within striking distance, a major player here at 10-1 morning line.
Your best bet of the day is going to be in race number 8 on the number 3 as well. 9-5 on Mystic Seaport for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez. We just mentioned 7 wins for the last 8 starts.
I might say it enough, and this horse has won on the turf. She hasn't beaten this kind of group on the turf, but the form that she has right now in this Ness barn, it's hard not to like her.
Now we have a true winner that we're going to be discussing in the Old Hilltop Award. Congratulations to Dan Illman, of course, and now our DRF's Mid-Atlantic correspondent since 2020.
Dan, he just brings it every day. You read his analysis. That's the first thing that I like to get up, have a cup of coffee. All right, see where we're at. Because
Yes.
Dan does a phenomenal job. He's been around the game a long time. All the videos and everything he does for the daily racing form, but what he's brought to the Mid-Atlantic region, and especially here in Maryland, is top notch. You can trust in anything that he kind of puts out there. He does his homework. So congratulations. He puts in a ton of time, and it's a well-deserved award.
On top of that, he's a wonderful human
He's a good
being.
dude,
He's a great guy as
Yep.
well. So big congratulations to him. We're proud to have him on our team here, and that will be on the Alibi Breakfast on Thursday morning at just right before Preakness. So if you can get in, try and get in any way you can. But it is a selected breakfast celebration amongst individuals, a lot of media within the racing community. So congratulations to Dan. We will head on over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.